identification. Well, that's, with a gun in your hand. For our records, we gotta know.
Make sure you turn your mic on.
It's
Way ahead of you.
they've gone overboard, but they don't, this is something new.
Yeah, well, start.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just walk through it, I guess, that's what we've always done.
You're right with 5.
I'd like to call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for January 6, 2021. Roll call.
Budke.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Kuhn. Sion.
Yep. Could we just, excuse me, could we just turn up that mic or the sound from the commissioners that are on TV? From Zoom.
Zoom. Lunsky.
Here.
Matichek. Reichert.
Here.
Sandy.
Here.
Wasvik.
Here. Quorum present. Maybe one more notch on that volume from the Zoom room for us older folks that are getting hard of hearing. Reading and approval of the December 2nd, 2020 meeting minutes. Please read through those and would entertain motion or
Move approval.
moved by Mr. Lunsky,
A second.
second by Mr. Budke.
Yep.
Any further discussion on the minutes or anybody see anything? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, minutes are presented and recorded in the record as presented.
Steve. Steve, we have Frank up here.
Mr. Matichek, hi, welcome. Okay, well, reading and approval, let's go with public hearings, final approvals, petitions, and minor changes. Ms. Edwardson.
Item 3-1, plat of Williamson Field re-subdivision located at 1100 block of Demers Avenue. And before I get started real quick, Pete, we were able to hear you when you unmuted. So I know you were struggling there for a minute, but we should be able to hear you once you unmute. So should be good to go. Just wanted to clarify that for you. So let me pull up the item. Item 3-1 we saw last month. This is the Williamson Field Purple Arena area. Just a plat cleanup to kind of delineate the different things that are city-owned on the property versus Park District-owned on the property. Second time final approval would stand for any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Edwardson before I open up the public hearing? I know we do have some folks on TV too, so I'll do the best I can. I'll open the public hearing. Anybody got any information for item 3.1, please step up to the microphone or speak online. Not seeing or hearing anybody, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission. Mr. Reichert?
Move approval.
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Reichert. Second by, was that Mr. Johnson?
Johnson.
Okay, moved and second. Any further discussion? Seeing no hands or nobody hollering at me, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. 3-1 passes. 3-2.
All right. Sorry, bear with me as we get used to running the screen up here. 3-2 is... Sorry,
I can read that for you, Andrea.
yes,
Public
ma'am,
Health
because I can't
Fast Track
multitask.
Plat of Mickelson Landeco, 5th re-subdivision, located at 1632 Avenue South and 3101 South 17th Street.
For this replat, we're looking at the Northern Air Family Fun Center site as well as the old Happy Host site. There's a bank at the corner of 17th and 32nd Avenue South. There's same ownership for the Northern Center and the Happy Host site. They're removing the lot line down the middle and joining the lots into one property for future development. So with that, I could answer any questions, and staff is recommending approval.
Any questions before we open the public hearing? Seeing none from the commission, I will open the public hearing. Oh, Mr. Reichert, please.
Yeah, Andrea, are they planning on doing anything right now, or are they just kind of holding this out for the future?
It's more of a future possibilities. This allows them to have some more flexibility if they decide to do something with the lot. It's probably a starting point and then future things to come.
But if they want to sell it, you know, they can, I mean, it's no problem for them to go back or split it up into more pieces or anything like that, right?
They would have to go back through the replat process and split it up, but otherwise, yes, they could do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody would like to address item 3.2, please do so at this time. Seeing or hearing nobody making any moves, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission. Mr. Reichert.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Reichert. Second by Mr. Kuhn. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call for vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3-2 is done. 3-3.
Public hearing fast track replat of lots A, B, and C of the replat of lots 2 and 3, Block 1, Wells Concrete, First Re-subdivision, located at 5,000 Demers Avenue.
Ms. Edwardson.
We're now over on Demers Avenue, west of town. The old Wells Concrete facility is being further broken up. A few months ago, we might remember last year, this portion was sold off to Coast Materials. This middle building has been purchased by True North Equipment, and this replat indicates the area that they've purchased. The other remaining lots, I believe, are still for sale. So with that, we would answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Edwardson before I open the public hearing? This is a fast track again. Mr. Matichak?
Is this, did you say this is an existing building?
Correct, sir.
Okay, that the concrete company had before?
Yep, correct.
And now it's going to be True North?
Yep.
Okay.
Any other comments? Mr. Budke,
Steve.
I thought I saw you.
Yep. I was just curious because I think there was a very similar item. I looked back, it was in August. It looked like there was just some slight changes to like the line that was drawn, but it was very, very similar. So I was just kind of curious if like, did that get recorded or did like the plans change? Like basically how did we get here?
Yes to both, and I'm going to let Ryan follow up on that because he remembers the story. The history.
Yes, the lot line did change in between. It was very similar, but there was a desire to move the lot line that was between those two buildings to better serve both of the remaining owners.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Budke?
Sorry, Ryan, I think there was a little glitch with the audio. Would you mind repeating part of that?
Yeah, you are correct that this did come through previous, a month or two ago, still not coming through. John, I don't know if that's something from us or them, or through our system.
We hear you right now, but then as soon as you start explaining, we lose you.
There's probably a comment there about me talking, but, so I'll try to maybe go a little bit slower. But in terms of what happened there, it was previously platted. The line did get moved a bit, and it was to accommodate both the owners. So there was a desire to have a little bit different line in between the two properties. It still meets our code requirements. Hopefully you guys all got that. I'm seeing some nods, so, okay.
Okay, at this point, I'll open up the public hearing. Anybody in the audience or on TV World would like to address item 3.3, please do so at this time. Seeing nobody, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission. Mr. Reichert.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Reichert. Mr. Matichak, second. Mr. Matichak, seconds. Any further discussion? Seeing no hands out there, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 3-2 passes. 3-4.
Public hearing fast track replat of Lot E, Block 1 of the replat of Lots B and C of the replat of Lot 2, Block 1, Curran's Third Re-subdivision, located at 4680 South Washington Street.
Ms. Edwardson.
So now we're at the corner of South Washington Street and 47th Avenue South. We saw this one last month for a final zoning to a commercial district. They're currently looking to split the lot now, kind of 2/3 of the way. The eastern lot will be built for medical offices, and then the access would be a shared access through this entrance off of 47th Avenue South and through. So with that, I could answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Edwardson? Mr. Reichert?
Yeah, where's that, so looking at the picture here, it looks like there's a road that goes on the north end of this property, south end of the other property, the whole length of it. Is that where the access to all three of those properties is gonna be?
Yes.
Okay,
There's different avenues to complete that, so not to delay the plat. So this is a shared access easement here, which lines up with the other access easements that I believe ran up there, if we look at here. And then this, you might be, I think this is what you're referring to in terms of the shared access on the
Yes,
north and
yeah.
south. That would be, can be done through a shared access easement or crossover agreement or even a shared parking kind of deal, which is a separate easement that doesn't necessarily have to be tied to the plat, but does need to be completed. Due to the fact that it's some separate ownership between the lots, we didn't want to delay the plat because I believe there's a sale pending for the lot, but it is a requirement to get that completed before the sale is final.
yeah, because otherwise we'd have a landlocked lot, right?
No, there is access here, and then this lot has access through this shared easement that runs along here.
Okay,
So, no, the lot will be serviced with access.
We have an in and an out basically too.
Yep,
okay, thank you, Andrew.
yep.
Okay, I guess I'll open up the public hearing. Anybody in the audience or wants to address item 3.4, please do so at this time. Giving it a fair chance out here. Seeing nobody coming forward or hands up, I will bring it back to commission. Mr. Reichert.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Reichert.
Second.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Sandy. I heard her first. Any further discussion? Nothing? Call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 3-4 passes. 3-5.
Public hearing conditional use permit for the continued operation of a salvage yard located at 7596 Gateway Drive.
Mr. Brooks?
Okay, hopefully everybody can see my screen now. I'm going to pull into the air photo GIS so we can see where we're going to be talking about. So, and I'm going to talk a little bit about both of these together because they're linked, they're neighbors, but we will have to have two different motions on these because they are two different sites. So
item 3.4 and 3.5 we're going to discuss together, break up and vote apart.
is it 3536?
3.5, 3.6, I did that wrong.
Yep.
Thank you.
So here's the Swangler Auto Wrecking here. Cole, you're giving me the sign. Maybe I'm too close to the microphone. So hopefully, can you guys hear me okay?
We can now. We lost you for a little bit.
Okay, I think I'm getting too close to the mic. So here's Swangler here. Just give me the sign if that happens again. So, these are salvage yards is the way they're listed in our code. They are a use and it's through a conditional use permit, so they have to go through this. This has been going on for many years. We go through this it's typically been a 5-year. I think last time, or maybe the time before, I think we talked about a 10-year and then it went back to a 5. Of course, the applicants would be fine with a 10, I think, but we kept it at a 5 for now. I do want to point out that some of the changes that have occurred since the last time, and it's on the Swangler, the piece here, their lot line was up in this area here. And if you remember, maybe I'm not even doing the right amount, but Gowan came and purchased a portion of their piece, and they had an agreement worked out, and it's kind of shrunk back to this area here. So Swangler's is actually, their site has moved from the north down to the south a little bit, so the depth of their operation isn't the same as it once was. And even if I zoom into this area, and we can go back to in time, a lot of people think that nothing's changed through the years. It has. Here's a picture from 2003, so you can see how much of the operation there was. And I'll flash back to the 2020. So they've gotten much smaller. And of course, the price of metal, I think, probably has an effect. And, you know, Jerry Swangler's here as well and could probably give you more information on that if you wanted it. But they have shrunk. That being said, there's still an operation that is required. You know, the city has a lot of vehicles that get into accidents or are no longer usable, and those things just don't disappear when that happens. And at the same time, too, there is a service being provided out here that, you know, especially when the economy isn't as well, there's a lot of people that rely on these. And then there's a lot of people that do a lot of collection, like to work on their own cars, and they're out there helping a lot of those folks out as well. So with that, I can certainly stand for any questions. Jerry's here as well to talk on his operation, the weekly operations, kind of the next one, and I can certainly answer any questions on that as well. But with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Does staff recommend approval on this?
Yeah, we're recommending a 5-year. The conditional use permit that you see in there is what you essentially saw the last time.
Okay. Again, a public hearing, but I'll start with the commission. Anything from the commission, Mr. Matichak?
Yeah, I just want to point out, these guys have been coming here for years for these permits. One of the things we used to fight here on this commission years and years and years ago was junk cars sitting in people's lots and whatever. And now these guys provide a service, as well as some other people. They pick these vehicles up, give them a couple $100 or whatever it is, and we've alleviated a lot of our problems with that. And every year it seems like, or every time, we always want to, I'll say we kind of want to pick on these guys a little bit, but I think they've really tried to keep their businesses up, and the service they provide to us and the city of Grand Forks and the area, as well as having salvageable auto parts, as well as having picking up of the old vehicles and stuff. So I support their conditional use permits.
Okay.
I'll wait and make a motion after you have your public hearing.
No, appreciate that, Mr. Matichak. I will open up the public hearing at this time. Anybody, we're just going to start with 3.5 and do this right. So anybody would like to step up to the microphone or address item 3.5, please do so at this time. Seeing nobody, bring it back to the commission. Close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission. Mr. Matichak.
Motion to approve the conditional use permit, and I'll leave it at 5 years for 3.5.
Mr. Reichert.
Second.
Mr. Reichert seconds. Any further discussion? Seeing
I just have a quick question.
Miss Sandy, thank you.
Have there been any complaints?
No, we didn't have anything on file at all.
Okay, thank you. With that, any further? Seeing no hands, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. 3.6.
3.6, public hearing, conditional use permit for the continued operation of a salvage yard located at 7600 Gateway Drive.
Okay, I think we heard the same deal next door. Mr. Brooks, anything to add? We're just opening up the second
Nothing more to add.
conditional use permit. I'll open the public hearing. Anybody would like to address 3.6, please do so at this time. Seeing nothing, bring it back to the commission.
Move
Mr.
approval.
Matichak.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Matichak.
5-year conditional use.
5-year conditional use permit, thank you. Mr.
Second.
Kuhn? Mr. Kuhn would second. Any further discussion? All,
One-
Mr. Budke, please go ahead. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just curious, like, these seem like they're so closely related, these two operations. They're on the same timeline for the conditional use permit, but they are separate? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, two different ownerships, two different businesses. I think they work together probably quite a bit, you know, in terms of the, you know, if one's got a part, or if one doesn't have a part but somebody's looking, I think they work together quite a bit, but they're two different operations.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. 3-6 unanimously passes. Item 4, communications and preliminary approvals. Mr. Brooks.
4-1, request to vacate a portion of a stormwater retention pond easement of lots 2, 3, and 6, Block 1, Myers 3rd Division, located at 1400 South 48th Street.
Mr. Brooks.
Okay, I'll work on sharing my screen here. So here's South 48th Street. We're out in the industrial park, 12th Avenue South up on the north, and 15th Avenue South here on the southern area. There's a storm pond area easement that's on the backside. This is the Cirrus building. You can kind of see the little plane there. City recently sold this building to Cirrus, and in doing so, we noticed that some of the mechanical equipment on the backside was on storm pond easement. I don't think anybody knew where the actual easement was, but you can definitely go out there and see where the pond is. So we did merge those up together. So the line did move from this location over to this one and keeps the mechanical equipment off the easement. And this one's actually our fault. So we owned the building at the time. So we won't say anything more about that. But in this case, we've worked it through engineering and everybody's good with it. So with that, we are recommending approval. And this item goes just to you guys once, and it's twice through city council. So this is the last time you'll see it.
I was assuming you would recommend approval on this one. All right. Anything from the commission? Good, thank you.
Move approval.
Moved by Mr. Lunsky,
Second?
second by Ms. Sandy. Further discussion? All those in favor, signify, oh, Mr. Matichak, please.
Quick question. So where is this water gonna go?
Same spot. Right now, the pond won't change at all. So there's still a surge pond there.
Okay.
And
Just the corner is going away.
yeah, just that corner goes away. So it's actually a surge pond, and hopefully you don't want me to explain how that works, but there's a line that comes down on the west side here, and during those heavy rains, it backs up into here, and then eventually it'll drain out and then come down 15th, and then I think it eventually ends up in legal drain 9, I believe.
So it eventually drains out if there's a monsoon or something?
Yep.
It goes over land or under?
It stays in the pipe, so it'll back up into this area.
To a storm sewer?
Yep, that's
Okay.
correct. Yep.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, 4-1 passes. 4-2.
Preliminary, replat of Lot E of the replat of Lots A and B of the replat of Lots 6 and 7, River Oaks Addition, located at 4722 River Oaks Circle.
Ms. Edwardson.
All right, bear with me while I get things situated. All right, so we're on River Oaks Circle, which is out by 47th Avenue South and the Greenway. This lot 4722 is looking to be replatted and split for the development of 2 single-family homes. So with that, I'll pull up the plat here next. You have the outline of the plat, and the lot will be split here. Mr. Linsky did bring up a question before the lot depth that we didn't hit on the staff report, so I wanted to be sure to mention it. Lots greater than 60 feet are required to have a lot depth of 100 feet. This lot is probably not quite 100 feet, but close, so the approval of it would accept a variance by half a foot. So, with that, I would stand for any questions.
All right, this is preliminary. Anybody, commissioners, any questions? Could you put the guys back up?
Oh, yep, sorry.
Mr.
about that.
Reichert, I see you.
Yeah, I assume that we talk to the neighbors before the final, is that what we do?
For plats, we do not send notices out to neighbors. For rezonings and things like that, we do. The zoning of the property and the property around it is R1, standard single-family development. And so the zoning is in place for the use. And as long as they can meet the lot size, dimensions, and widths, That falls under the plating requirements. So a notice was published in the paper, but no, neighbors were not notified.
It just, you think, one of the things that people probably do look at is, what the other lots around them are, and we're adding another neighbor in there. Might be something that somebody might get upset about, but, all right, if we don't do it, that's fine.
Mr. Johnson, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, the neighbor to the north, that's an existing house where they talk to. Looks like their lot line is changing as well.
Where's my GIS? Another previous route.
That was where we did for the driveway.
Ryan knows the history because he's been here forever, so I'm gonna let him go through it.
Sorry, yeah, it appears like that dotted, sorry, Cole, that it appears like that dashed line is on this plat, but it's actually, that was part of a previous plat as well. When we changed to move that, so that was a previous plat for this area.
Okay.
The one thing I'd love proposed going forward, and I think we talked about this 100 times, get rid of the old lines. Miss Sand?
Could we move approval and recommend that the letters get sent out to the neighbors? I feel like this neighborhood has been here for quite a while. They're high-end homes. I think it's reasonable. I guess I don't know that
Sure, we can do
anything
that.
would come from that, if really it doesn't necessarily need neighborhood input, but I think it would just,
It wouldn't be required, we can certainly do it. Would you want just the River Oaks circle?
Yeah. Transparency, I think, would be great.
Yeah, we can let them know about before next meeting.
okay, that'd be great. Thank you. And so then I would move approval with that.
Thank you. Moved by Miss Sandy,
Second.
second by Mr. Lunsky, and you're okay with letters going out to those neighbors of River Oaks with that motion? Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
So this would be the owner looking to purchase it.
Okay.
Do you want to make a comment?
Sure, I'd ask a question.
Yeah, please step up to the microphone, sir, and give us your name and address for the record so we can get that in.
Sure, my name's Skylar Ertman. I live at 5110 Chestnut Street. My question is, I guess if that north lot, that 4726 it looks like, if the neighborhood was notified directly by letter when that was replatted.
When it was previously replatted, sir?
Yes.
They weren't, but I think what I'm hearing the motion, because we're adding a lot here, that one was just a moving of a lot line. It wasn't an adding a lot, so
Sure.
what I'm hearing is since we're adding a lot,
Okay.
they're requesting that. So still, when we have those notifications, I think the reason, it's just to notify people that something's about to happen. It doesn't mean if people come in and say, no way, that, I don't know if that would happen anyway, but.
Yeah.
And all these lots are very uniquely shaped, and now we're taking one lot that was pretty big and breaking it down into two. So I think that's a valid concern, just to let people know.
All right, and so just for clarification, any replatting that was done on that lot previously was just to move the lot line to accommodate the driveway? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can get you a copy of that though too, just so you can see
I
it.
would just to clarify, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was the only question I had, so.
Yeah, it was an odd shaped previously, so,
Okay.
but we can get you a copy of that.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay, so with that, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, item 4.2 passes. All right, number 5, reports from the planning department. Mr. Brooks.
Thank you. I'll just quickly point out that, let me set this up so I can see the full group as well. We have an appointment of Al Grasser to the MPO Executive Policy Board. We're recommending as staff to continue with him. He is up for re-election, and then we have the other elections later on in the agenda here as well. But That's our recommendation from staff.
So Mr. Grasser, since removed as a voting member, has been, I think, a real integral part of bouncing ideas and questions off of him. So I would entertain a motion to keep him on this, on the MPO Executive Policy Board.
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Sandy makes the motion. Alex?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion on this? Kind of a slam dunk. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Mr. Grasser, congratulations if you're not here, but cake and coffee will be later.
Thank you very much.
No, he is here. I didn't see your name down there, Mr. Grasser. And here thought I was going to get away with saying something really nice about you, and you didn't hear it.
I think I'm in stealth mode.
We'll name a pond after you, my friend. Miss Edwardson.
So the next item on the agenda is our 2020 annual report. Someday I'll be quicker about Zoom. So with that, it was just posted online today. Sorry for the short notice. We've quickly wrapped it up this afternoon. Walks through our year in review. 2020, you guys met 11 times, 75 agenda items, 7 discussion reports. Plats, single-family lots, we had 157 lots brought in this year. Rezonings, 9, some simple things. Goes through Board of Adjustments and Downtown Design Review Board. These items don't necessarily go through you, but they do fall under the Land Development Code, so wanted to provide an update of what their year kind of looked like. Board of Adjustments continues to have most of their items revolve around accessory building size and impervious surface. Setbacks are usually a condition of a unique lot, or maybe a smaller, older lot. So probably one of the ones we want to look at is the accessory building in the future and impervious surface for potential code updates. If you keep getting variances, the idea is you should probably adjust your code if you keep approving a variance. Staff time kind of limits when and how that happens, but it's on the to-do list of things to look at for the future. Downtown Design Review Board, we've talked a bit about the design standards upcoming. They're still pending and should be a 2021 project. We also, planning staff also undertook a new outreach aspect this year, working with the North Dakota Department of Health on Blue Zones, which is a community health advocacy kind of initiative where they look at how to change different people's perspectives to have a more wellness rounded, I'm not saying that right, but you guys get the idea. Site plans, we did 44 in 2020, with the major ones being there below. We thought for sure with the COVID year we'd see a downturn, and we probably did slightly, but it was actually rather busy for what we were kind of expecting, which was good news. So, University of North Dakota is doing the College of Business. That's going along fantastically. If you're interested, they do weekly construction updates. If you're ever curious and want to go snoop around, it's out there for your information. It's kind of cool to watch it progress. We did fairly decent on the census 2020 with our response rate of 71%, higher than it was before, higher than the North Dakota rate, and then also higher than the national rate. So we did a decent job there, and our planning team led that initiative. So we're pretty proud of those folks. Single-family housing, we permitted 83 single-family units, and then I want to say that's a 42, even though this is blurry, for townhouse permits. Townhouse permits include duplexes or 2 or more units attached. So we've seen an steady increase in those type of units over the last few years, which has hopefully helped diversify our market and set some maybe different price points out there for us. We've been tracking single-family plotted lots. 2019 had a bit of a downturn, but that's probably due to the fact we had high income in 2018. Back to probably a more average year this year. Highlighted Thames Court, if you haven't been out in that area west of town by the West Walmart, they're completing their development, finishing that off with 5 plexes, which is again on different unit style than we traditionally see, and so we're kind of excited to see that development wrap up. Also, Thompson Homes bringing in their new stuff on Toby Lane with the smaller lot sizes. I think some of those are 32-foot lots. So again, just diversifying what we typically have seen in the past. multifamily units were about 277 units this year. That included mostly the district and a couple other ones. Have quite a few under construction, so in the next few years, we'll see all of these come online and see how that kind of fluctuates things with the permitted incoming. Vacancy rate is around, I think that's 5.5%, but that's even blurry for me to read, so I'm not quite sure there. We'll have to fix that. But it's about 5% for Grand Forks and just kind of tracking how we are there. And then upcoming in 2021, we're seeing some of the projects that are seeking TIF financing come through. We hope those come to completion and we can see them go through the development stage next. 2050 Land Use Fund will definitely be on the highlight of this next coming year. With that comes future housing and future growth discussions. And then obviously legislative tracking, and then hopefully some training opportunities. I know those were lacking last year, so we hope to get that back on track this coming year. So with that, could answer any questions you might have. Feel free to peruse it. Let me know if you have any questions.
Miss Sandy?
When you count single-family homes and then you have the townhomes,
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
number for the townhomes per building or that's per unit?
It would be per unit.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Any other questions for Miss Edwardson?
I had one, Steve.
Mr. Budke, please.
Andrea, the Beacon project, I believe, that's the one that's downtown at the hotel. Is that right?
Yep, correct.
You know, we've had other like multifamily apartment buildings that have huge parking lots. We've even talked about them being overparked. I'm curious if that is within the boundary of the downtown parking assessment zone.
Currently it is not. We're working with the Beacon folks I anticipate that to come forward to the commission here in the next month or so for preliminary review. Parking would be part of that conversation. Right now, they're not currently in the parking assessment, but given that they're an event-focused facility, they have their apartment facility for their on-site residents, but the proposal is to have a event center space, outdoor event center space in between the buildings. That unique attraction will be enough to draw to our central parking ramp and even the other corporate ramp. And so they will help facilitate and participate in the ramps. And so I do believe we're going to be wrapping them into the parking assessment district.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Madchek?
Yeah, Andrea, who keeps track of our legislative updates? Brian? Is there any way?
One of us will.
You have the staff person for planning on that?
Yeah, is there any way you could keep us updated by email or something if there's something about, let's say, infrastructure or new regulations or money that's available? I'm sure you're going to keep the city updated, but I think a lot of those projects might come through here too. So,
Yep.
if we know there's something out there, it would be nice if we had a little heads up.
Yeah, I can almost feel John Bernstrom jumping in from the back, but he puts that out there as well.
Okay.
So it's out there on our website, and we can share that link with everybody.
A lot of times
John
that
actually
stuff,
does
a lot
really
of
good
times
job
that
with
stuff either gets, it would get passed if somebody from the city would come or planning and zoning would come and testify or something about it, something that's maybe important to us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to miss those opportunities if there's something we could do, because I think the city really needs to do that.
Yep, and we do, there's meetings that happen throughout the session,
Right.
and we have that available, so we'll send you guys that link as well, so you can keep track.
Because I know, in the old days, we used to go to Bismarck quite a bit to actually lobby for different things and do different things. This is going back to Bushfield in those days, but it was important.
Yep, and the advantage now too is that we're able to actually zoom in on some of those, so.
Right,
we're
I understand that. We actually don't have to go there now,
Yeah.
but in the old days, we did.
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
All right, I don't see any other, thanks, Ms. Edwardson.
Thank you.
Other business, item 6.
So before we jump to that, I just want to thank Andrea. She's put a lot of effort into that, and she started that last year, and hopefully that's been helpful for everybody. And it actually helps us to track from year to year where we're at with a lot of those things. And a lot of appraisers when they come to town want to see where we're at. So that housing dashboard's out there as well on our website too for everybody. So that has a lot of those stats on there, and she keeps those up to date. So the next item, 6.1, is the election of officers. So every 2 years, we also do election of officers, and apologize, we kind of were behind the 8 ball on this one. We've had some issues over the last month, and let's just say 2020's been a different year already, so 21's not starting off on the best, but we do have elections of president, vice president, and secretary. I have talked to each of the existing, and especially in this time of doing Zoom meetings, et cetera, the thought of, I just asked each of them if they would be willing to serve again. I know all of them were, but with that, it's really on you guys to make your selections, but we'll stand for any questions that you may have, but I think this one essentially falls to the commission to make their selections. So Steve still runs the meeting, but we'll go from there.
Talk about I'll take care of this for you. How was that? He didn't take care of much. I thank everybody, and like you said, Ryan did reach out to myself, Megan, and Alex, and they were nice enough to say yes, and I was nice enough to say yes. So with that, I guess I'm willing to continue on. Mr. Matichek.
Move to reissue your positions for another 2 years.
I'll second. Johnson.
Somebody second, I don't know who.
Mr. Johnson seconded that.
Was that for the full slate?
That was
Yes.
for all 3 positions.
All 3?
Right, yes. Any further discussion? Any discussion at all? All right, with that, I guess I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of us 3 amigos staying on where we're at, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Matichek, and
is always going.
Mr. Johnson. So with
Steve,
that,
one question on that.
I didn't hear you, Cole, sorry.
Yeah, is there like actual term limits that you can serve on this commission, or could you guys serve indefinitely?
There is no term limits.
Okay.
And next year, we'll get these to you guys sooner. In the past, we've formed committees for those that are interested and those types of things. So we'll be on the board a little bit sooner with that next time to get it on the agenda quicker. So.
Mr. Reichert?
Yeah, Ryan, on that note, looking at Andrea's fantastic thing, which I really like, I noticed that Steve is up in 2 months. So if he's going to stay president, I assume we get on that pretty quick to get him reappointed. And then Pete and I are also up for reappointment this year, or our terms expire this year.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, Steve and Pete are both through the county, so that's actually done through county commission. And we've already started conversations with Tom Ford, as I understand it. They'll be working on that. We'll get with both of you individually, make sure that you're willing to continue to serve. And if you aren't, then we'll just still send in the paperwork to make sure that you are still serving, so.
And then we still have that vacancy. Are we going to be able to do something about that this year?
Yeah, the mayor is aware, and we'll be on that here shortly. So we have been in conversations with him, and again, yes, he is aware of it, and we'll start.
I've been pushing to get our next person on this commission, whoever that may be. To start the interview process, I think is important as soon as we can.
Yep, get us back up to 9. Thank you.
Thanks.
Last item, 6.2, the Grand Forks Land Use Plan update. So we have selected SRF and Praxis is the team that was selected. Thank you, Alex, for setting aside a morning to assist with that. It's a very long process, but it's very important, and we appreciate you taking that time. With that, we have a land use subcommittee that has already been selected, and making sure that we're going to have those meetings starting, I want to say in March. So be ready for those emails, and we can be sharing information with the full commission as we go through that as well. So with that, that was it from staff.
All right. Anything else from the commission? I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Matichek. Motion to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Reichert. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.